This is the pattern. Trace the size that you are interested in. Be sure that you transfer all the text and other information from the pattern. I am using velour and cuff fabric. Take a look at the velour fabric. If you turn it in different directions, it changes color. So decide which way you want up. The fabric is double and I place the pattern. Make sure that it is straight on the fabric. You can measure it from the edge like this. Add 1 centimeter in seam allowance and cut. If you're not sure which part is the back, you can mark it on the fabric, so you will know later on. This is the cuff fabric and the fabric is double, and this piece should be on the fold. Pin it and add 1 centimeter in seam allowance and cut. At the fold, you make a small notch with the scissors out in the seam allowance. Make sure which is the right side, and you fold these leg cuffs like this and with the right sides out. Make a small notch with a pair of scissors halfway on the cuffs and on the pants. Pin them right sides together and sew with a stretchy seam and 1 centimeter in seam allowance. As you're sewing, you need to stretch the cuffs so the pants will fit to the cuff. Now it's time to sew the inseam, so you turn the leg right sides together, pin this piece from the cuff up to the crotch. Sew with a stretchy seam and 1 centimeter in seam allowance. Do the same on the other leg. You can trim away any excess fabric. Turn one leg with the right sides out, and then you put it inside of the other leg so it's right sides together. Now it's time to sew the crotch seam. Line up the seam allowance and the edges. Pin it and sew it. And now you have the back next to the back. So the short edge of the waist cuff, it should be right sides together. When you have sewn it, you can make a small cut halfway, so when you fold it double, it will be able to fit nicely. Center front should be to the center front of the pants, and the center back should be on the center back. And that is where the seam on the cuff is. Pin it edge to edge, and you might have to stretch a little bit on the cuff to make it fit. So like you did before, and then your baby pants are finished.